2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 16th of February, and it's Innovation Day. And a big happy birthday to Ice-T, Janice Dickinson, John McEnroe, and The Weeknd. There were some mixed messages on Tuesday about the ongoing Russia versus Ukraine crisis. Some media reports early on showed Russian troops appearing to move closer to the Ukrainian border, but the Russian military announced that in fact some troops have begun returning to their bases after the conclusion of military exercises. Elements of the Ukrainian government were also hit by a cyber attack. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz held a press conference in Moscow after a long table meeting with Vladimir Putin, and the Russian president says he doesn't want to see a war in Europe.
Of course, we don't want it. And this is exactly why we put forward the proposal. The result should be an agreement of ensuring equal security of everyone, including our country. Unfortunately, there was no constructive response to this proposal.
Boris was sounding more positive about the potential for talks, but he was flagging that the threat is still very real and that Russian military forces appear to be preparing field hospitals in Belarus.
We are seeing a Russian openness to conversations. On the other hand, the intelligence that we're seeing today is still not encouraging.
Joe Biden weighed in too, signalling that he was willing to continue discussions, but cautioning that there needs to be a physical de-escalation by the Russian troops.
As long as there is hope of diplomatic resolution, we will pursue it. The Russian defense minister reported today that some military units are leaving their positions near Ukraine. That would be good, but we have not yet verified that. Indeed, our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position.
The Duke of York has unexpectedly settled the sex assault claim filed against him by Virginia Giuffre. Prince Andrew made no admission of guilt, but will pay an undisclosed sum which will mean he avoids a high-profile and costly trial. He's also said that he never intended to malign Miss Giuffre's character, and he's pledged to demonstrate his regret for associating with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He's expected to support the fight against the evils of sex trafficking as a sign of public remorse. Lawyer for other Epstein victims Lisa Bloom says it's a very significant day.
This is the first time that anyone has been able to get Prince Andrew to stop with his nonsense and to actually acknowledge that Jeffrey Epstein was a ridiculous predator. Prince Andrew is making a significant contribution, I would estimate probably $5-10 million, something like that, to Virginia's charity, which is going to help a lot of other victims who don't get attention.
It's turning into a difficult week for the Met Police as the search for a new commissioner begins in the shadow of the ongoing Tory party scandal. Now Deputy Assistant Commissioner Bas Javid has admitted that racism remains a problem in the force after 2 senior officers spoke out.
It would be wrong for me to stand here and say to you that I haven't seen examples of racism in my 28 years. Absolutely I have. What I would say is there are people who have racist views and are racists, and they are in the policing. But what I won't do is describe all of the organisation as a racist organisation.
After causing chaos around the Australian Open, world tennis number 1 Novak Djokovic was back in the spotlight on Tuesday with an exclusive interview with the BBC. He doesn't seem to have learnt any lessons from his detention in the Australian quarantine hotel, followed by court cases and eventual deportation. And even as new studies show that those who are unvaccinated are more likely to suffer from long COVID, Novak was busy telling the BBC that he's not had the jab and he's prepared to miss tournaments because of it.
I understand the consequences of my decision. And one of the consequences of my decision was not going to Australia, and I was prepared not to go. And I understand that not being vaccinated today, I'm unable to travel to most of the tournaments at the moment.
And that's a price you're willing to pay?
That is the price that I'm willing to pay.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Man City go mad in Lisbon, and Doctor Strange is back in a new multiverse adventure. Right after this. Welcome back.
The Champions League returned on Tuesday night with the last 16 of the competition kicking off. There was also one Premier League game with the COVID-postponed Man United and Brighton game finally taking place. Man U won comfortably 2-0 with Ronaldo's first goal of 2022. In the Champions League, PSG and Real Madrid played out a tight game in their first leg match, which PSG won with a late goal in the 93rd minute from Mbappe. And Man City ran riot in Portugal with a 5-0 win over Sporting Lisbon in the first leg. Manager Pep Guardiola was still not entirely happy with his team, though.
The players, they know me. They know me that, and the way we work, that we can do better. There are a few players that still we didn't read well what we have to do in terms of build up, and still and some of them I'm incredibly happy, don't misunderstand me. Yeah. But we can do better.
The aftermath of the fatal shooting on the set of the Western movie Rust continued on Tuesday as the family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Alec Baldwin and the movie's other producers. She died aged 42 when a gun was discharged on set, killing her and wounding the director. The family maintain that cost-cutting and rushing to stay on schedule led to the fatal accident, and they're seeking undisclosed damages.
We are the lawyers for Matthew and Andros Hutchins, and today we filed a wrongful death case on their behalf. And the lawsuit, as you can see, names Alec Baldwin and others whose reckless behavior and cost-cutting led to the senseless and tragic death of Halyna Hutchins.
He's playing a starring role in what is now the third biggest blockbuster of all time, Spider-Man No Way Home. But Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange also has another movie of his own on the way. The new teaser trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness dropped during Sunday's Super Bowl, and it's got an all-star cast from across the Marvel Universe. Directed by original Spider-Man and Evil Dead director Sam Raimi, it hit cinemas in May.
I did what I had to do to protect our world.
You break the rules. Look out! You become a hero. I do it. I become the enemy. That doesn't seem fair.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.